Hey yo, we are back on Burnout. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Sincerely, you feel me? We are with Naoe, you feel me? Feel like it's a little fitting, even though you feel me, Naoe obviously ain't a mother, you feel me? But we are picking up where we left off, getting ready to go and get rid of these candles, extinguish all this shit so we can actually go and handle some business. We gotta knock some people down and help out the monks in the region. But aside from what we actually doing in the game right now, I actually came across a pretty dope article that gave a lot more details on what to expect from this upcoming DLC, Claws of Awaji. And I came across the article from 9 meters. You feel me? 9 meters is apparently a online a website that's kind of like getting into different video game news and things like that. And this article in particular was written by Jonathan Cow. And he is pretty much letting us know what to expect once this new DLC drops, which is going to be available for free for everybody that pre-ordered the game. And I definitely pre-ordered, so I'm looking forward to getting that new free content. But after I take care of this and extinguish some of these lights here, then we'll actually get into going over what the article is talking about and detailing for us. Let me get right though. Okay, wait, is he not who we supposed to talk to right now? Talking about. Hold on, let me make sure. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, boom. Wait, what? Okay, yeah, he's been lured to the monks district. Okay. Okay, so now we just supposed to look for dude. Okay, so I guess we don't need to talk to him no more because we extinguished everything that we needed to extinguish. But okay, now we need to get our target. Let me. Oh shit, yo.
the last of them. I'll go and tell Kyornyo his immediate threats are dealt with.
Okay, now before we dip all the way, I do got to go back and make sure that we didn't leave nothing in those pockets, though. You feel me? Hold on. It don't look like it, but nah, we good. Okay. I feel like it is some wealth in here, though. All right, there's nobody in here. That's weird. They are comfortable. All right, look at them. Yeah, they are comfortable. That's wild. They got the door open. All right, y'all do you. I can't say I'da you feel move like that, but okay. We good on that. I don't need no. Okay. Yeah, I think we good. We can cut. And then once we are, safely up out of here, we gonna make sure we go tap in with Kyornyo, and then I will get into going over this article about the new DLC. But let me see. Okay, he way over here. Let's make sure that's taking us to where we need to go. Yeah, alright. Alright, shut up. Okay, so now that we got our good self-driving going. Ooh, wait, hold on. Were we in sacred grounds right now? Oh. Didn't mean to get on my mountain there. Okay. But either way, so it's saying that the Claws of Awaji pack is gonna immediately pick up after the main campaign, and it's gonna take us to Awaji Island, and that's supposed to be a real place that's like in Japan's inland sea. And the reason that they apparently picked this location for the new DLC is because historically this played like a major role in this particular period, in the Sengoku period, you feel me? And the dope thing that's mentioned here is that for everybody that's a part of the fan base that's more into like the previous, I guess they want to call like, or like the OG Assassin's Creed installments, you feel me? So everything from dealing with Ezio all the way through Black Flag, that's pretty much when it was still like the old gaming formula for this franchise before they kind of reinvented the wheel with Origins, and then that takes us to like the previous 5 releases that like we're playing into now. And the dope thing about this new DLC is that for the older fans, this one is supposed to bring back a lot more naval combat because that's supposed to be historically accurate. So if you are somebody that really got into, hold up, is that oppression? Oh, that's oppression. Time out. We're gonna get back to it.
You will see another day.
I have nothing to give. But is there something I can do in return?
I'm looking for information. Got any to share?
Yeah, that was reeking of oppression. Yeah, we had to get on that. Hold on, where my? There we go. Okay, but yeah, it's supposed to. So like, if you were into installments of the franchise like Black Flag and then even Odyssey, you feel me? They trying to give that portion of the fan base something to look forward to with that. Hold on. Oh, hold up.
I saw something.
Hold on, like we had to get on him before he got on us, straight up. But yeah, they're this DLC is definitely supposed to be having some more naval combat back into it, and then even though Valhalla wasn't necessarily like naval combat in the sense that like you going up against naval fleets, you feel me, and shit like that, and having like real big ships through that's armed with, you feel me, cannons and whatnot, and actually being able to board enemy vessels and go at it with folks on deck and shit like that. Even though that wasn't necessarily the case in Valhalla, you still very much so got to go a Viking, you feel me, with the gang and go get into all kind of shenanigans that I miss sorely in here. So even if it's remotely close to that, I'm all for it. But as far as for like specifics, they're saying it's supposed to be approximately 10 more hours of gameplay that's going to be included with this one. Self-contained narrative arc that's going to be focused on betrayal and regional unrest. And the regional unrest, like, they've been making it very clear since the start of, you feel me, this campaign, this original campaign, that this period in Japan is full of unrest. You feel me? It's war torn. The shit, Harima is the shit perfect example of that. But hold on, let's make sure. Wait, time out. How do I stop? There we go. Yeah, I feel like this is the same time we came speed into last time. Let me make sure, you feel me? I take a little bit of pep out the step, you hear me? But it's gonna include new side characters and new factions, you feel me? So those gonna be our enemy wheels and things like that. And the fact that they put that plural on there let us know it's not gonna be just contained to just one new group, you feel me? It's gonna be a bunch of ops to look forward to in that one. They are talking about additional skills and gear specific to Naoe and Yasuke. And now, prior to reading this article here, I did read that one of the weapons that they plan to release for Naoe is actually gonna be a bow staff, you feel me, real Donatello style. And I'm looking forward to that because Naoe does only have like 3 weapons for real. Like not including her hidden blade. I never really include that because that's like a given for an assassin. But like actual weapons specific to like her shinobi lifestyle, she only got 3. She got her katana, she got her kusarigama, and then she got the tanto. So to hear that they finna give her the bow staff, that's dope. I know she's gonna be able to go crazy with that. And the bow staff is something that I feel like is criminally underappreciated anyway. Like folks used to get at Donnie crazy, like, and it was a interesting breakdown that my brother had gave me. My brother D gave me as far as for why, even as far as for the Ninja Turtles is concerned. Who was that, a shinobi? Oh, y'all think y'all slick, huh? Honestly, they ain't even trying to fuck with me, so it's cool. I'll leave them be. But yeah, even in regards to like Donnie using the bow staff, you feel me, on Ninja Turtles, like my bro had broke it down to me and it made perfect sense. So like Donnie got the bow staff because he was the most intelligent. So he got the most simplistic weapon because he could take something simple and use his intelligence to make it just as dangerous as Leo with the katana. Leo got to use the katana because he displayed the most discipline. And that katana is like, and he's dual wielding too, you feel me? He carrying two of them. And so those, you feel me, in the wrong hands, somebody with like a quick temper could do absolutely the most damage out of any of the turtles' weapons, you feel me? So Leo got that because he displayed the most discipline, as opposed to Raph, you feel me? Raph was the hothead. He displayed the least amount of discipline, which is why he got to use the Sai, which are defensive weapons, you feel me? So because he couldn't go up with his temper, they were trying to not allow him to go out and take his. Okay, we hear the Kyonyo. They were not trying to allow him to go out with his temper and take something deadly to where he can constantly be on the offensive and press lines, you feel me? Press people. So they gave Raph something that was gonna be more defensive. You feel me? Like basically his mouth getting him into something, he got something that's gonna help him get up out of it. And then, but then when it came to Mikey and the nunchucks, for example, you feel me, the nunchakus, you feel me, Mikey had the most energy, and to use those to master nunchucks, let alone master two of them, you feel me, dual wield those, that takes a extreme amount of focus, and Mikey absolutely had the most energy, you feel me, so he had the most to give to his focus to be able to master that. So like that made total sense. And somebody like Naoe, who shows like that she's extremely cunning with with the intelligence in there to go with it too, she gonna be nice with that bow staff, you feel me? Let's go and check out what Kyonyo is saying before we get into some more what this article is telling us.
All that remains is the bounty hunter leader. What's wrong?
He has kidnapped my father.
To draw you out.
They think I will run to him. After what he has put us through.
You have a chance to take your father back. Before all is lost. I know what that loss feels like. You cannot turn away from that chance. I would give anything for it myself.
Akagi Fort. That's where they're holding him. Our enemy is called Shigumo.
Then wait for me there, and you will have your chance.
Come, I have already waited as long as I dare.
Any word on your father?
He's alive. They're keeping him in full view. For now.
If they see you, they will kill him.
They forced my hand. I cannot stand by and do nothing. Fight for something greater than yourself. The great Amida will forgive you. That's what he always said. My father.
He's right. You need to fight for what you believe in.
I know. I can't retreat now.
Oh, so y'all kidnapping daddies though? Okay. Nah, we ain't going for it. A little bit disappointed that Kyonyo was really finna try to act like he was finna be that petty when it's yo pops that let us know that you got snatched up.
It is time.
Then what are we waiting for?
I would say let's go in alone, but I feel like that runs the risk of, you feel me, him getting killed in the process. We don't necessarily need Kyonyo to get killed because both him and his pops got some shit to reconcile with each other. So you know what, bro? Sit your angry ass over here in the rain. I go handle it. You feel me? Here you go.
Exactly. The second he lays eyes on you, Kenyo's life is forfeit. It's safest for him if I go alone.
I suppose you're right.
Stay close. If I'm discovered, I'll need you.
Good hunting.
Okay, my apologies. Had to check on something right quick as well, but yeah, it's a good thing that we told bro to sit still, cause yeah, they see him, they for sure just gonna go ahead and wipe Pops down. Man, we don't need that.
This place is hostile. Best to go unnoticed.
If I can help it, I want to go and secure Pops before I even get into it with, oh shit. Do they have a bell here? They do. Okay.
Are you all right?
I am now. Let me thank you.
Information is powerful. Keep an eye out for me.
Ah, okay, I see where we need to go. As far as up here, we're looking for Pops. But we need to get rid of that bell, though.
It'll be less trouble if I stay out of sight.
Damn, I can't even see where that bell is from here. Oh, that's the bell way over there. Alright. I need to focus on getting over there. I was trying to look to see where this tree was coming from, but it's coming from that side.
Kill the shadow!
Now.
A stupid child! You fight for Kyoto, then you will die! I will find... Kill her!
It's done. I'll find Kyonyo and his father.
Not my time to die. What distracts me from my duty?
I'll bleed you out.
How did I lose that?
fate favors me.
Please, forgive my interruption.
I think you have more than earned our attention. I would formally introduce you, but... it seems you have been conspiring behind my back for some time.
These men who hunted my son were associates of Wada Koratake. Since Koratake's death, these bounty hunters preyed upon the people of Ki. And when they saw an opportunity for revenge...
they got what they were owed. My father and I have much to discuss. Should our paths cross again, Naoe, I hope it involves slightly less killing.
Agreed. Or, if we must, fighting for peace. Take care of each other.
Hey, okay, so we just leveled up again. I just saw that now it actually has 10 points that we got to use. And I think I was waiting on 7, so I didn't even realize that we had got some as far as the mastery points go. But okay, we had actually been kind of like tailing that mission for a little minute now. And if you had been tripping off the smoke bombs dropping during the combat, hey, like I was saying in the last broadcast, yo, the Tengu pack is really though. Like that was a perk that came on one of Naoe's pieces of gear. If I'm not mistaken, it might be it's the hood. So a kill while outnumbered can trigger a smoke bomb. Like I was saying, they gave some crazy perks with this Tengu pack, you feel me? So now that we actually have the mastery points necessary, I've been waiting to get this rush attack with the Kusarigama. Oh, what they saying with this? Okay. Enhanced impact. Okay. Yeah, that thing cool. But what we want though is actually a assassin perk. And I want this though. I want that rush assassination. You feel me? Yeah, we need that. Because we actually have some perks that's specific to that. You feel me? Which one was it? Let me see. We got a rush assassinate perk somewhere. But back to back to the article though, which I have to reload now because it's been on hold for a minute now. But let's go back and yeah, here we go. Get this confirmation. So boom, Toro. A mysterious target disrupted Kyonyo's information network, but his work in the shadows was brought to light. And then Gumo, let me see. This was the vengeful leader of a group of bounty hunters after Kyonyo. His quest for vengeance has been stopped by the joint efforts of Kyonyo's family and friends. You feel me? So out of there. So that's a whole nother faction wheel gone. And that's like what they alluding to as far as what we looking forward to with this next pack. You feel me? More factions, more op wheels, however you want to phrase it. But let me see. Okay, we got some new weapons, but I think that's ping pong. But actually, I think we might need to ride back up to. We're gonna ride back up this way while we finish talking about this article. Boom. Yup. Alright. Cool. So yeah, let's see. Boom, it's coming with that. And then okay, so that was pretty much everything that that dude covered. I mentioned the fact that it was gonna be more naval traversal, you feel me, in coastal combat. Mentioned the specific weapon that they're gonna add for Naoe, even though they haven't introduced anything new for Yasuke yet, anything definite. But with that though, it also brought me to another article that I saw kind of ranking the different Assassin's Creed installments, and I think like the way that they gave the rankings kind of fed into the person writing the article being on one side of the fandom than the other, because the article I came across, and that one I can't necessarily recall. I don't have that one saved to pull up right now, but that article seemed like it was absolutely written by somebody that was oh, hold up, we getting mocked. Yo, that smoke bomb drop after you kill somebody, like, yo, that shit is perfect, especially because it's not something that's actually taking up your smoke bomb inventory. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think I got that many smoke bombs because I done used a bunch of them without replenishing. So yeah, but yeah, it definitely seemed like the person that wrote the article kind of ranking all of the Assassin's Creed installments was a little bit more of a fan of the super stealth mode parkour installments, so like the OG games. And it was, I felt a kind of way about the ranking just because I had to be honest and say that a bunch of the older ones, not even a bunch of them, but there's a noticeable amount that I actually haven't played, so I couldn't give my full opinion on the entire list and where every installment fell. But for the ones that I was familiar with, definitely felt like some of them got slighted. And so I guess what I was able to do after reading it was pretty much like rank the previous 5 where I saw fit. And even with Origins, like I didn't even get a chance to play that, so it's hard to say, oh wait, hold on. Man, we making the same mistake that I did one of them other times, man. I thought this was taking us somewhere to pray, and this is just taking us, that's just a different route. I thought we was gonna be able to pray going this way, but nah. So yeah, like when it came to the older games in the installment, like Super Parkour, Ezio, you feel me, and the rest of those were of course the classics, and that's what made the franchise what it is. But to me, it's always, I'm always a fan of good things, you feel me, being built on too. And I think what some of the fans were saying was that they felt like the franchise in some of the more recent installments has gotten away from a lot of the parkour and stealth. But I feel like that happened as a result of them listening to the other fans that were asking for something more than just having to sneak around all the time and you feel me, hop, skip, and jump across rooftops, because the amount of hostile people in the area, you feel me, were just that deep. You feel me? Like for me, I kind of got tired of that, and being able to go toe to toe it felt extremely rewarding after feeling like I had to, you feel me, be a fox, you feel me, in the bushes for a bunch of games. So like I definitely played 2, definitely played the third one, and I believe I played Brotherhood. But like I missed ones like Rogue. I missed ones like damn, what was the one that took place in London? Shit, yeah, I missed some of them. But when I'm looking at the, oh shit. Okay, got them out the way. But yeah, I definitely felt a way. I definitely felt some kind of way about where some of them fell in. So like on their rank, they have Valhalla way down there, and I kind of feel like Valhalla gets disrespected in a lot of the rankings for whatever reason, even though in my ranking it's nowhere near like that. So I figure I'll give y'all my top 5. Or you feel me, the best 5. I don't even like saying top 5, but I feel like I'll give y'all my favorite 5, you feel me, as of now. And in my number 5, I probably would have to give it to, I probably would have to give my number 5 to the one where we played as Connor, you feel me. That one, and I forget which installment it was, but playing as Connor was the first time. Oh, hold up, more pressing. Hold on, I'm gonna get back to explaining how I felt about Connor.
should find safety.
I will. But first, tell me how to thank you.
Is there anything you can tell me about this place?
Yeah, no, we ain't passing up no oppression. Bottom line, no oppression's getting stepped on. Period. But as far as for Connor made it on my favorite fire list because in that game, that was the first time I felt like the storyline started to appeal to somebody that was motivated by something greater than themselves. You feel me? So, like I was talking about in the last broadcast when I was coming to the defense of this game, of in the defense of Shadows, one of the things that I was trying to express was that for me, I enjoy this one as much as I do because it's nowhere near as self-serving as some of the previous games have been. You feel me? This is some of the least selfish characters that we've got to play as far as for their motivations. And that's one of the things that really appeals to me about this game. And Connor was one of the first ones that I felt like kind of displayed that. Connor was taking place during the time of British occupation over here, you feel me? So we dealing with red coats, you feel me, and all the rest of that. And it still at the same time for me also was one of the first times I felt like they gave a good mix of having to use your stealth when you came into one of the towns or little boroughs or colonies, you feel me? I think that's what they was calling them at that time. But when you came into one of the colonies, you had to use your stealth and blend in and use all your parkour. Kind of was real good at that. But then it also had a decent amount of like what we're doing right now, riding through woodlands and things like that. Things where it's not necessarily buildings and you either having to go toe to toe or use basically a little bit more guerrilla warfare, using your terrain to your advantage. And I'm a big fan of that. And to me, that was the first game in the franchise that really had a good balance of that. So that one came to my number 5. My number and then also in regards to the storyline was cool, but I'm not gonna lie, like it wasn't as memorable as some of the others in my list, and that's why it kind of fell to number 5 the way it did, because to me that particular storyline wasn't as memorable, didn't hit me in the heart as hard, even though Connor's story was it did touch me, but it didn't quite hit the heart like you feel like some of the other ones did. Number 4 for me, actually, you know what? I take that back. I'm going to give number 5 to Mirage. Number 4, I'm going to give to Connor. Number 5, I'm going to give to Mirage. And with that one, the way that the game was done, it was like visually, the setting is a beautiful setting. Like ancient Baghdad looks amazing. It looks gorgeous and it's huge. But in regards to the map, is in recent vintage, that's like the smallest one. And it also felt like that game was done maybe with a smaller team, because as good as the game looked, it still didn't look as good as Valhalla or Odyssey before it. Like, you feel me? Graphics wise, it looked like the previous 2 games before Mirage had a bigger budget. So that was one thing. But then as far as for Basim, it made it on my list in general because I was curious of Basim's origins after deciding that I didn't like dude at all in Valhalla. So I was curious as to how one of the assassins was so unlikable. Like, like to me, Bassam moved like he would have made. Hold on, is that more oppression? Yeah, Bassam to me looked like he would have made an excellent Templar.
What is it? Can't see it.
I'll be sore tomorrow. Your captors no longer rule this place.
I am grateful. How can I thank you?
No trouble at all. I don't need anything in return.
Ah, okay. So we just actually learned something as far as for where we stand in key right now with that response from Naoe. No trouble, you feel me? Nothing needed means we know all the information, all the world information we need to know about key, and that also means we are good with our scouts. All our scouts is full. So we know everything there is to know about key as of right now. No more hidden chests, no more hidden locations, no musicians nowhere, nothing like that. But yeah, Bassam to me would have made excellent Templar because dude was, oh yeah, we got all of them. We got all of them. Happy Mother's Day, kind of lady. But yeah, as far as for Bassam, like he was by far like the most selfishly motivated assassin that we ever played as, and I think that's why Mirage overall falls at number 5 to me. And then also there was, to me, like they said they said that Mirage was supposed to be like a love letter to the fans of the OG installments. So it was meant to be extremely stealth and parkour focused. But like as I expressed when I was talking about Connor, I like the balance. I'm not big living solely off sneaking around and parkouring. You feel me? The parkour is dope, but to me the storylines were what pulled me into the Assassin's Creed franchise. The parkouring and being able to climb on shit after coming from, you feel me, these open gameplay games where a lot of the buildings and stuff like that was widely uninteractable. It was extremely exciting to be able to know that you can hit damn near any roof or wall that you see and use that to your advantage. Hold up, Ronnie. You better sit that shit down, sir. Sit that shit down, sir. You could have still been alive, brother. You ain't have to push that line like that. But yeah, so for me, oh, and he was right by the spin knot too. Oh yeah, he was tripping. Okay, he was about to hideout with that. Yeah, nah, sir, he wildin'. But yeah, being able to like look at potentially any wall, any hillside, know that you'd be able to hit that and use that to your advantage was dope to me. Like, not underplaying that at all or undervaluing that at all, but it was the storylines and the historical context that pulled me into Assassin's Creed, because hey, I'm big on history, love history. You feel me? And I know enough to know that, hey, like, if I need to look into some more shit myself, that's exactly what I'll do. But the fact that I might not necessarily trust everything that the messenger is giving me in regards to history doesn't deter me from history as a whole, not at all. But yeah, so like a game like Mirage, after playing something like Valhalla that was so diverse in as far as for the things that you can get into, to me Mirage felt like too much was reduced and pulled back to write that love letter to the fans of the OG. So while it was a good game, it just wasn't necessarily my cup of tea. So the fact that it was a good game and they put in some good work into it is why it made my list in the first place. But like I'm saying, like that definitely wasn't one of my favorites. So it had to hit at number 5. Number 4 is gonna be Connor because of the balance that it showed. But then we get into my top 3 is where I had to put the most thought into it. And my number 3, I'm kind of gonna have to say Odyssey. And I'll explain why after we see what's up with Tomiko.
Naoe, what's wrong with Yasuke?
What do you mean?
He's distracted, like his head is in the clouds. I have to explain things 2, 3 times before he understands me.
Ah, it must be Ring. They've become quite close.
Oh. I suppose he deserves a little happiness.
What? They've become quite close. No, actually, she just broke up with bro for no reason. So if it is Rin that got him distracted like that, it's because he's trying to figure out what went left. Shit, I wish she had some intel. I wish she had something to let us know about what was going on between Yasuke and Rin, but nah, that ain't quite it. Not at least to my knowledge. Who is this over here right now? Joe, he's still tripping, ain't talking to nobody. Hell yeah. Okay. But yeah, I would have to put Odyssey as my number 3. Ooh, and that was a hard one. And it's only because in regards to the storyline for Odyssey, was dope, but it was more it was, to me, it was the factions and the villain wheel that was one of my favorites. You feel me? It was, to me, like kind of like the most cohesive as far as for everybody that you were going after, and it seemed like it was kind of all condensed to one main shadow organization and a bunch of their enforcers that were the active protagonists. And even though the Shinbakufu is one main shadow organization on here, there's so many other smaller factions doing things on smaller scales in different regions that don't necessarily connect directly back to the Shinbakufu on here, which is dope too. But it's just a lot more pieces going on, a lot more moving pieces going on with this one. Whereas with Odyssey, you and don't get me wrong, this organization was huge and they were well spread out, but this was all one organization. And to me, because I didn't get to play Rogue, and I'm not sure how the Templars were featured in there with old boy that actually turned on the assassins to go inside with the Templars. But to me, Odyssey was one that I really wish they would have allowed us to hold up. Okay, let me go check on my little one. And if you are watching in the future on YouTube, you can check the comment section and I will have a timestamp that allow you to be able to skip this portion here. But I will be right back in a real quick second. Okay, we are back, and yeah, hopefully you heard me and you were able to click that time step in the comment section and fast forward to this point here. But to me, like back to what I was saying about Odyssey, I really wish that they allowed Odyssey to be their example of being able to play as a Templar, or basically play as on the antagonist side. Like I said in the previous broadcast, I was almost under the impression that since I played as Alexios, I was going to be able to go back and play as Cassandra and see everything play out, all the events play out from the opposition standpoint. That's what I was looking forward to. That's what I thought was going to happen, and was pretty disappointed when I found out that it was just swapping out who was going to be the assassin, whether or not it was going to be Cassandra or Alexios. And Cassandra had absolutely a different fighting style from Alexios too. Cassandra was actually more on, like, you feel me, Yasuke's end of fighting style, you feel me, a lot more power, less stealth and being nimble than Alexios. But because that shadow group that we were taking down in Odyssey was so cohesive, you feel me, because it was so streamlined, I actually thought that would have been a perfect organization to kind of tap into and see their inner workings, because they had so much influence spread out such a vast map, you feel me? So Odyssey could have been higher if they had kind of aligned things up a little bit. And to my knowledge, with Rogue being the only one that allowed us to play from the side of the opposition, like, what the hell? Why is it not giving us our, like, damn, hold on. Why is it acting like we don't know where that is? We've been there before. That's like right here. Oh, come on, man. Oh, wait, that's the fort. Tanjo-san, let me see. Miyoyoji, where? Oh, man. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, that was the problem. That's why I wasn't sending us no damn path to follow. Okay. Yeah, okay, there we go. But yeah, being that Rogue, if I'm not mistaken, was the only one that let us play from the antagonist standpoint, I felt like it had been like a game or two between that. Oh, god damn it, them again. Yeah, I definitely thought it was enough time. Oh, god damn it. I forgot about this road. Hold on. Okay, but yeah, I definitely felt like it was a perfect amount of time between. Ooh, it is dark, ain't it? Hold up, we can barely see nothing. Yeah, I definitely thought it was enough time in between the two games that they could have. Damn, our exposures where it need to be, to where they could have. Oh, that's why it's tripping like that. We are in an anomaly section. What the hell? Yeah, to where like they could have gave us a refresher and kind of built on what they did with Rogue. You feel me? Hold up. Oh, so him himself was causing the anomaly here. Huh. I wonder if that meant like dude wasn't supposed to be there, like you ain't a part of this timeline type shit. Is that a run-in? Yep. But yeah, but as far as for Odyssey, it's absolutely a part of my top 3 because for one, the size of the map is kind of like I would almost say it's second to none, but it's second to one. You feel me? Because there was another installment that had even more map than Valhalla. I mean, than Odyssey's massive epic that they were telling with their story. You feel me? But being able to get your ship and upgrade it and go and slide on enemy ships and kind of getting the feel for where your ship stood against other ones, you feel me? Because it absolutely gave you some opportunity to run down on some ships and then come to the understanding that yeah, we ain't ready for them yet. You feel me? And so you had to you feel me, make a beeline the opposite direction, you feel me, and come back to them when you were ready. Another one.
Well, that worked out.
But yeah, the fighting style that they gave Alexios was another plus. And then one thing that I felt that was a little bit unique about Odyssey was that out of all the games I had played leading up to it, Alexios was the first protagonist that I felt like I got to use that started out like, you feel me, like on a higher learning curve than others. You feel me? Like Alexios was already a well-seasoned fighter, like leading up to us taking over control. You feel me? Like him growing up a Spartan. You feel me? Whether or not he spent the majority of his early life in exile or not, he was a Spartan through and through. And so Alexios was gonna put paws on you, straight up. Like Alexios had mitts for you, for real. And so like, even though you still had to rank him up for him to become the beast he would eventually be, you were still able to run down on ops that was ranked well above you, much easier with Alexios as you would be able to when it came down to using Eivor, for example, like in the next installment. So that was also a big plus with Alexios, and I'm sure it would have been the same case with Cassandra as well. Her being raised under that shadow organization, because they really drove home like how much they put into making Cassandra a beast from an early age. She was pretty much like they one-man army weapon, like Yasuke the Nobunaga. So Odyssey definitely falls in for my number 3 for those reasons, as well as the fact that like Odyssey, like even to this day, as far as for the setting, you feel me? Oh my god. Oh, my pole mount. I thought it was a much more shallow river. but like yeah, even up through this one, like the setting along with the graphics they put in Odyssey, like is still visually one of the best looking Assassin's Creed games, period. So yeah, Odyssey is gonna be my number 3. Number two, I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of torn between this one or Valhalla. But the reason that Valhalla is actually my number 2, pretty much, and it was like the tiebreaker for me, pretty much came down to what's motivating the characters. Eivor is a walking god reincarnated. You feel me? He's literally Odin's reincarnation. Where and you feel me? That fact kind of gives Eivor some obvious signs of kind of like a god complex. Like even though you're supposed to be second to Sigurd, he's supposed to be your Jarl. It was real early in that game where I made in my mind like I'd be damned if I'm finna be second to somebody that act like he don't have any responsibilities. So it was no way in hell, just me playing and seeing everything happen the way that it did in the storyline, that I was finna allow Eivor to be you feel me, secondary and subservient to Sigurd. I'm sorry, that wasn't realistic. They had Sigurd out gallivanting and going on all kind of escapades with Basim for months at a time. Like, especially like if we talking about like going through season changes, because that was also something that Valhalla added real noticeably, was the season changes. But like if we start talking about that and pay attention to all those, it was some years that Sigurd was gone, you feel me, and leaving everything to Eivor. So it was no way in hell I was gonna build up that settlement from everybody sleeping in sleeping bags along the shore into like a for real borough with like marketplaces and fish markets and merchants and you feel me, libraries, all kind of shit. Like we built that shit into a little bit of town from sleeping bags, and I was just supposed to hand that shit back over to Sigurd. No, that wasn't finna happen. But everything that I did love about Valhalla that I do miss on here pretty much came down to the combat. Like one of the first things I looked up after purchasing this game was whether or not we were going to be able to dual wield weapons. You feel me? And I missed that dearly. That was the first time they gave us a protagonist that can dual wield. You feel me? So with Eivor, you got to use either 2 weapons or a weapon and a shield of your choice. And depending on what enemy you were facing at the time would pretty much dictate what shield was going to be the best for you. So if you fighting one of the big dudes, you feel me, like on here, if we was fighting somebody using a Kanabo, we'd have to use a heavy shield. For everybody else, we can get away with the lighter, you feel me, the lighter small shield, you feel me, that was going to get the job done. But I miss being able to go a Viking, you feel me, so I miss the river raids, you feel me, and pulling up on villages or monasteries and running through everything, and I actually miss setting up my generals and customizing them, because I mean, it's like, even with that, like, you might have started out with your Viking crew being pretty amateur, but as you go along and start hitting different ports and seeing everybody else upload their general and make them available and hiring them, real quick, your crew goes from being amateur to well-seasoned vets that's well equipped and all of that. And that's things that I miss. And then it really made it hard to put Valhalla at number 2 for me, because Valhalla has so much more map. And the reason that it's falling at number 2 for me is because I had to remind myself that, yeah, even though Valhalla has so much more map, this is still a very new game. And just like we're finding out with Claws of Awaji, they're going to be adding other maps to it. And that's pretty much what they ended up doing with Valhalla 2. Like, it's not like the game started out with access to Ireland to begin with. That came as DLC, and if I'm not mistaken, France came as some DLC too. So, hold up. So yeah, that. Okay, my apologies. I am actually gonna go ahead and get ready to cap it here after letting y'all know that this is pretty much my top game at the moment. And I'll get back into that on the next broadcast as far as to why. But I'm gonna ask y'all to not forget to hit that like button for me before I get out of here. And drop me some comments. Let me know how you feel about the upcoming DLC. And let me know where the previous installments rank for you. Give me your top 3. Give me your top 5. And drop that in the comments. Don't forget to share this with other people that you know that's into the Creed. And I will catch y'all on the next broadcast here on Burnout. And once again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that might just so happen to tap into this. So I will catch y'all on the next one here on Burnout.